Whether you are new to PC gaming or just love some high quality free games, this video is absolutely for you. Today in this video, I'm gonna go through 12 of these most popular game genres right now and recommend you some of the best top tier free to play games you can play right now in 2025. So whether you like fast paced shooters, action adventure games, survival games, simulation games, even some goofy party games, these picks are going to be perfect for you even if you are a beginner or a casual player or anyone who just love playing free to play games. So without wasting any more time guys, let's jump right into it. Alright, let's go through all of these games categories starting with shooter games including both first person and third person shooters. Alright, let's start with first person shooters, also known as FPS games, arguably one of the most popular game genres out there right now with millions of concurrent players. Obviously when it comes to FPS games, most of the popular games are actually free to play, so you really cannot go wrong with any of these options. The games like Counter-Strike 2, Valorant, Overwatch 2, Apex Legends, Destiny 2, these are super popular games, absolutely need no introduction, and they're all totally free to play. Moving on to some of the other high profile games, some of the games that very recently came out, the games like Delta Force, which is hands down one of the best free to play alternatives you can play right now, especially if you're a fan of this style of large scale battlefield style of games with incredible amount of vehicles, weapons, destruction and tons of game modes. And talking about game modes, the game also comes with free play extraction mode and a fully fleshed out single player / co-op campaign called Black Hawk Down, which you can play right now for absolutely free. And also we get games like Finals, one of the best FPS games to came out in the last couple of years. Honestly, there is no any other game like Finals in the market with great gunplay, tons of game modes and fully destructible environment. Also we got some of the most recently released titles. The games like Fragpunk offers you kind of a unique experience when it comes to 5v5 tactical shooters. If you're looking for more of a classic World War II style of a shooter, Enlisters is definitely one of the best you can play right now. But compared to some of the other games that we discussed, it's a bit of a grindy one. And also have to mention Halo Infinite, still going pretty strong even in 2025 with all the updates and changes coming to the game. Still got a very healthy player base, especially on the multiplayer side. Definitely give it a try if you are a fan of Halo games. But somehow if you have a very low-end PC or a laptop in 2025, you basically cannot play most of these games that I already mentioned. So if that's the case, I got some awesome games for you, starting with games like Combat Masters, which is literally a copycat mini version of Call of Duty with similar gunplay, similar game modes, similar style of customization, but all packed in a small package that is less than 2 gigs of download. We also got games like Bloodstrike, comes with a very awesome 100 player battle royale mode very similar to Call of Duty Warzone. Also we got games like Battle Teams 2 and a lot of people calling it the Chinese version of Call of Duty. It is honestly not as popular as the other two games, but still got some pretty awesome gunplay game modes, and definite highlight is the co-op zombie campaign that you can play with 2 of your friends. And finally I have to mention the game Polygon, an awesome free to play low poly version of a Battlefield game that is totally free to check out, and it is still receiving continuous update and relatively popular on Steam. Not everybody like to play first person shooter games, sometimes people like to see their character in game. So next up we got third person shooters. Obviously some of the third person shooters are very popular, absolutely need no introduction. The games like Fortnite, probably the most popular battle royale right now, alongside the ever popular looter shooter Warframe and the most recently released super popular hero shooter Marvel Rivals. All of these games are excellent, have a very healthy concurrent player count and receive continuous update. Obviously you cannot go wrong with any of these games. I also want to highlight some of the underrated games, the games like Caliber, a super underrated third person shooter with some squad based mechanic and a very awesome co-op style of a campaign. We also got some newly released titles like Strinova, another pretty cool third person anime style tactical shooter with a very unique mechanic that let you switch between both 2D and 3D in real time. If you're into more like futuristic sci-fi shooters, we got a brand new games like Steel Hunters are really popular right now. And finally I want to highlight another game that very recently went free to play and honestly a lot of people don't know about it yet, and that is Arcadegeddon. This one was initially a paid game but is now totally free to play. It's a 3-player co-op style of a roguelike shooter with multiple biomes, mini games, hidden chests and tons of enemies and bosses to defeat. Very fun, chaotic and colorful. Definitely a game that is worth checking right now. Alright, moving on to our next category. Next up we got action adventure games, starting with a couple of popular single player games you can play right now, starting with Zenless Zone Zero. This one is a very stylish looking free to play urban fantasy RPG featuring fast paced combat in a post apocalyptic setting. It's totally free to check out, and if you're playing the game on PC right now, it is only available on Epic Game Store. And also we got Tribe 9, another very cool action RPG set in this near futuristic Tokyo. It's totally free to play and also completely single player as well. Wuthering Waves Patrikios, another very popular option right now, very recently launched on Steam. It's an open world RPG game set in this post-apocalyptic world with high mobility and fast-paced combat. There are tons of content to explore. You can download the game both on Steam as well as on Epic Game Store. If you're looking for more of a cozy, relaxing experience, we got Infinity Nikki, another open world dress-up adventure game blending platforming, fashion, and exploration with some light-hearted combat. And finally, we cannot forget about the Sky Children of Light, another visually stunning, more like a social adventure game where you explore this beautifully crafted kingdom cooperating with other players online. Pretty awesome game. You can play both on PC as well as on mobile. Now it's time for us to move on to probably the most popular genre right now, and that is Battle Royale games. And obviously you cannot go wrong with the most popular options like Fortnite, PUBG, Apex Legends, and finally Call of Duty Warzone. These are super popular games, have millions of concurrent player count, and if you're a fan of Battle Royale games, I'm sure you already played most of these games by now. When it comes to highlighting some of the unique Battle Royale games, we got games like Naraka Blade Point, a melee-focused Battle Royale blending martial art techniques and parkour in a mystical Eastern setting. Supervive is another very unique game that very recently launched on Steam. It's a combination of a Battle Royale and a MOBA where your ultimate goal is to be the last man standing. If you're a fan of MOBA style of games like League of Legends or Dota, this one is a pretty cool option to check out right now. Mini Royale gotta be the most recent entry on our today's list. Still an early access title on Steam. It's a free Battle Royale where you play as these little green army toy soldiers in this massive kid's bedroom. You can play on solo, duo, or trio in both first person and third person. And if you got a super old PC or a laptop, we got some low-end options as well. We got games like Bloodstrike, Combat Masters, offers you a very similar Call of Duty Warzone style of experience. If you want to jump into something like Fortnite, we got games like Farlight 84, another pretty fun, colorful battle royale available on both PC as well as on mobile. If you want to have endless amount of fun with some light-hearted gameplay, next up we got casual games. Casual games are ideal for someone who don't take itself too seriously and just want to have some fun, and I got some awesome recommendation. First of all, we got a couple of very similar style of casual games, and that is Fall Guys and Stumble Guys. Both games are very similar, colorful multiplayer party games where race through this obstacle course and try to be the last man standing. Fall Guy used to be available on Steam, but right now you can only download the game through Epic Game Store. Stumble Guys, very similar but ideal for low-end PCs and laptops, and also available on Android and iOS. Crab Game is another very fun party style of a game inspired from the popular TV show Squid Game, packed with some awesome minigames and often silly survival challenges. Goose Goose Duck is hands down one of my favorite party games to play right now. Super fun, casual, excellent game to play with your friends. It's a social deduction style of a game, very similar to Among Us, but it's totally free to play. If you're looking for more of a casual racing experience, we got a couple of games starting with Disney Speedstorm. This is a free-to-play combat racing game featuring iconic Disney and Pixar characters. Excellent party game to play with your friends on both local and online co-op. And finally, we got Asphalt Legends Unite, another pretty fun, fast-paced, high-octane arcade racing game, offering you some casual, fun racing experience without taking itself too seriously. Available on both PC as well as on mobile. Moving on to another very popular game genre, next up we got survival crafting games. Honestly, when it comes to the free-to-play survival games, there's not a lot of options available, but Once Human had to be one of the best survival games to came out during the last couple of years. It is a multiplayer survival game set in this post-apocalyptic world infested with alien anomalies and hostile creatures. It is super popular on Steam, and they also launched the mobile version recently. Now you can actually cross-play between them, which is really cool. Moving on to another popular game, next up we got StarCraft X. It's a blend of kind of an MMO and a survival horror inspired from the popular Stalker series. It's actually set in this massive open world of Chernobyl exclusion zone with both PvE and PvE elements. Such a unique game, definitely worth giving it a try. Looking for more of a sandbox style of survival games to play with friends, we got games like Unturned, a super popular game with a blocky graphics where you can scavenge, craft and fight zombies in this post-apocalyptic world. If you're looking for a fun survival game to play on your low-end PC, we got games like Muck. It's more like a survival roguelike game where you have to gather resources, craft gear, and try to survive the night against these monsters. Excellent game to play with your friends. Walking Zombies 2 is another pretty cool game to play, but this one is more like an RPG than a survival game, but it's one of the few games you can play completely single player offline, which is definitely a bonus. If you want to have some fun with your friends, next up we got co-op/party games. Let's be honest guys, any game can be fun with friends, but I'm trying to focus on the games that actually require another person to play. So I'm starting with a couple of my favorite games, One Arm Cook and One Arm Robber. Both games are very similar in concept, but the gameplay of course is different. One Arm Cook is a very fun and chaotic co-op cooking simulator where you and your friends have to run a kitchen, but you can only use one of your hand. One Arm Robber is very similar, but it's basically a heist game. And we also got games like Goose Goose Duck that we already discussed before. Pretty awesome party social deduction style of a game you can play right now for absolutely free. I also want to give a special mention to the Delta Force Black Hawk Down campaign. This single player campaign is super hard and super realistic. It is literally impossible to complete as a solo player. So if you got a bunch of your friends who love playing military first person shooters, this is an excellent campaign that you can play right now for absolutely free. And also we cannot forget about popular games like Destiny 2 and Warframe that is known for its excellent co-op gameplay. Alright, when it comes to horror/survival horror games, we don't have a whole lot of options but still got some pretty solid games. Starting with a game called SCP Secret Laboratory. It's a multiplayer horror game set in this SCP universe where you have to take on roles like scientists, guards or anomalies and try to escape or contain the threat. With each role you take, the objectives are different, so there's a huge replayability value. Excellent game to play on multiplayer and very popular on Steam as well. And talking about some multiplayer horror game, we also got Deceit 1 and Deceit 2. Both games are totally free to check out. These are more like first-person social deduction style of a game where infected must sabotage the others and as a survivor you try to escape. Both games are good, but Deceit 1 is definitely the most popular one. Project Playtime is another very popular multiplayer horror game where one player controls a monster hunting others and all the other players have to work together to complete the puzzle and survive. Very similar concept to some of the other games. And finally we got Dead Frontier 2, another free-to-play survival horror RPG style of a game set in this open world with a lot of exploration, scavenging and real-time combat against zombies. Alright, moving on to simulation games, we got few good options from different genres. I'm gonna start with a popular one. We got Supermarket Together, a very popular cooperative casual supermarket simulator where you and your friends have to run a supermarket managing stocks, customers and all the chaos comes with it. You can play the game single player, but it's much more fun with friends and I believe you can play with up to 16 of them online. If you're into more like a relaxing life simulation style of games, we got games like Palia or the popular one Sims 4. Sims 4 is all about creating and controlling characters, building their homes, lives. It's all about relationships. Palia is more like a cozy community simulation MMO where you can farm, fish, build and also form relationship with the characters in this vibrant world. Both games are really popular and awesome simulation games to play. On top of that, we also got games like Fishing Planet, especially if you're into fishing, that kind of game. Pretty awesome game to play. And also if you want to drive around some heavy hitting military aircrafts, tanks, all those sort of stuff, we got Digital Combat Simulator World, an ultra realistic combat flight simulator focused on military aircrafts and authentic battlefield scenarios. It is free to play, but it's a quite and demanding game to play on PC. Alright, next up we are moving on to MMORPG games, but I gotta be honest man, I rarely play MMORPG games, so I probably not the best one to talk about these games, but we still got some popular games like Path of Exile, and even the Path of Exile 2 is out now, but it's still on early access. Hopefully sometimes down the line it's going to be free to play as well. We also got another very popular MMORPG that very recently launched, that is Throne and Liberty. It has a massive fantasy world where you can explore a lot of dungeons, open world combat, but remember it is not available in certain regions, something you have to keep in mind. And on top of all that, we also got some popular games like Albion Online and Tower of Fantasy. Both games are worth checking out as well. Alright, now we are moving on to strategy games. I'm starting with a brand new game that just launched on Steam, and that is Girls Frontline 2 Exilium. It's a tactical RPG set in this post-apocalyptic world where you have to command a squad of android in a 3D turn-based combat missions. It's definitely not my style of games, but if you're into that, great option to check out right now. And we also got Limbus Company, a dark-themed strategy RPG with real-time combat and storytelling. And this is actually a super popular game on Steam with a massive concurrent play count. And we also got Smite 2, the next-gen sequel to the popular Smite 1, but this is more of a MOBA than a strategy game. Definitely a cool game to check out. And finally, if you're into more like a digital card/collectible style of games, we got the ever-popular Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and also we got games like Marvel Snap for quick matches and fun competitive gameplay. When it comes to racing games, we don't really have a whole lot of good free-to-play options, but if you're still into more like a simulation, realistic looking games, Race Room Racing Experience still the most comprehensive free-to-play options available on the market with realistic cars, tracks, physics, and tons of community-made mods. Alongside that, we also got some up-and-coming games like Rent Spot. The game looks absolutely stunning with realistic physics, tracks, weather conditions, but it got some issues when it comes to performance, something you have to keep in mind. If you're looking for more of a balanced experience between casual and competitive, we got games like Trackmania, a relatively old but a very popular game. But if you're more into casual racing games, you cannot go wrong with games like Disney Speedrome, Asphalt Legends Unite, or even Asphalt 8 on PC. Alright, moving on to our final category, we got sports games. Most of the popular sports games are actually paid ones like FIFA, Madden, or MLB, but surprisingly we got some pretty cool free options as well. Starting with a brand new game called UFL. It's a free-to-play football simulation game focused on fair, competitive gameplay with realism and player-centric mechanics. Unfortunately, right now the game is only available for the consoles, for Xbox and PlayStation. Hopefully the PC version will come out sometimes down the line. And we also got games like eFootball, Konami's rebranded version of the Pro Evolution Soccer series. So if you're someone who buying the latest EAFC games every single year, both of these games are great free-to-play alternatives you can check out right now. We also got the ever-popular Rocket League. Absolutely need no introductions. It's a unique blend of soccer and rocket-powered cars in this fast-paced, physics-driven sport arena. Extremely popular, but if you want to jump in right now, remember the game is only available to download on Epic Game Store. If you're into American football, we got games like Maximum Football, a free-to-play alternative to something like Madden, but this game is very much underrated right now. And finally, we got 3-on-3 Freestyle Rebound, another cool arcade-style basketball game that I had so much fun playing recently, and I recommend you guys to check it out as well. Well, there you have it guys, best of the best top tier free-to-play games for these 12 popular game genres right now. And this video took so much time and effort to make, so hope this video helpful to you in some way. If it does, don't forget to like the video, subscribe and stay tuned to the channel. And also don't forget to share with your friends or anyone who love playing free-to-play games. I'll catch you guys soon in the next one. Stay safe.